In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
Welcome to Chaotic Amateurs, the internet's #1 D&D 5e play podcast. I'm your host and DM. Let the adventure begin. And now for Arthur's story. Arthur, you came to Usama with a deed that wasn't quite a deed and a bargain with someone that you have since dealt with. You've taken the old abandoned chateau and turned it into the Chateau de Magnus, a place of industry and honor. The goods that you sell through your dealings with the Turlin merchants have brought you some wealth, and the soldiers and guards that you have trained at your place to fend off these specialty concursions. When other nobles need protection, they come to you and your forces. And with this, you've gained an amount of influence and power in Usama as Usama struggles against new forces. The wastes have become chaotic, and a lot of effort has been spent trying to tame them as magic begins flowing again into the wastes. You've turned your eyes inward, though. You, with the help of Adrian and the ambassador to the Dragon Council, have found a way to maneuver yourself into positions that gain you whatever it is that you're looking for at the time, or what Adrian's looking for at the time, usually a good joke or a fun story. You've set up a ambush of sorts for a local noble so that they can give you access to an old library. You're trying to find a way to get back to that place, timeless and full of dust and old things, place where Cantor was. This researcher that made a deal with Eben and then betrayed it. How do you set up this ambush with Adrian and the help of the Dragon Council?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, with Adrian being as powerful as he is, I almost feel like if we're talking like a highway ambush type thing.
I mean, it could be a highway. It could be a party. It could be...
Oh, yeah, of course it's a party.
A party.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Yeah. I probably threw an elaborate party somewhere, made the guest list as extensive as possible, make sure that like my intended target definitely, arrives. And yeah, this is an ambush of flattery, of decadence and, debauchery. Like we're letting the wine flow, loosen some lips, things like that.
Absolutely. And I'll say the target is Lord Riley. He has access to a library he keeps under wraps. It's got some older books and some books that he's not supposed to have.
Probably why he even wanted his hands cut off way back when.
Is he most likely? Probably how he got some of these books was a deal with Eben.
Ooh.
So you host this extravagant gala. You make sure that he's there. The Lord and Lady of Turlin make their faces known. I would say this takes place at the chateau. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, that's worse.
And Lord Riley, at some point during the night, comes up to you. Through some questions and some tea spilling that he doesn't only collect old books, but collects something a little darker. Souls of others trapped inside things. It's something he's always had an interest in, and the books of old are a known secret, but these souls trapped in items is one that you and Adrian have found out through some hushed whispers.
It's almost like a secret to cover up the secret type thing.
Exactly.
Like, here's a dark secret that's just not secret enough that people stop digging, or it's just secret enough they stop digging, and then they don't get to the real secrets.
Yeah. So at some point during the night, Lord Riley comes up, shakes your hand, and says, "My good Lord Magnus, it is a wonderful thing to see your chateau. I had heard so many stories about this place growing up, full of vampires and ghouls. It looks fabulous."
Well, my Lord Desmond Riley, I do appreciate that. You're quite a man of distinguished taste. Anybody in the fine city of Tyrolin can say that much, at the very least, about your character.
Oh, good. I'm glad the word gets around.
Absolutely. I find myself just absolutely pleased that you're here, Desmond Riley. My Lord, if you will.
You must.
Oh, no, I shan't forget, my Lord. Your attendance here, my gallant, it humbles me. You see, while I might pretend and play at being a lord, I have the trappings of such. You, sir, noble through and through.
Why, thank you. I mean, I've had to do my work to make sure my title has remained. I make sure to offer the services I can to the kingdom of Usama. You know, I have learned a few secrets in my day.
Secrets, my Lord Riley.
Well, yes, we all have to keep secrets. Things that others don't know that they wish to know. You know. It's how you've made your mark, I hear. You know how to defeat these ghouls and goblins.
Oh, well, that's no secret, my Lord Riley. You just poke them where it hurts.
Oh, quite. I once thought I would be a master with the blade, but no, I think those days are behind me. It's good that you have such young soldiers to do this for us.
Well, indeed, I have to agree with you there, my Lord Riley. But I dare say you cut quite a striking figure in your regalia there. I imagine that you probably swing a sword without any trouble.
Oh, well, I mean, I did train as best I could. I've had a few disputes settled in the appropriate way as a duelist might.
If they impugn your honor, you have to demand satisfaction, sir.
Of course. But these days, no one impugns my honor.
Who would ever dare doing that? I mean, your secrets are probably enough to bury him, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the trick, good Lord Magnus, is if no one knows your secrets, then they assume you have secrets for them.
Oh, I'm going to have to write that one down. Oh, that's a clever. I never considered that before, my Lord Desmond Riley. You are a wise man. I tell you that much. You know, there's so much I can learn from you. I hope you don't mind. Your glass is looking a little empty there.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, have you ever met my friend Adrian? He's right over there. He's wearing the fine jacket.
Oh, the singer, the one that's been regaling us this evening.
Oh, he is far more than a singer, but my God, does he have pipes like honey?
Oh, he does quite well. I know he tends to stay here in Turlin, singing the praises of the lordship of Turlin.
Well, perhaps he has some tunes for you.
Perhaps.
Adrian! Adrian!
Ah, yes, my good man. Arthur, what are we doing? Ah, and who is this? Is this Mr. Riley? I heard you would be attending the gala. How
Now,
are you
Adrian.
today? Oh,
Adrian,
yes.
I am so sorry to have to embarrass you like this, but this is not Mr. Riley. I'm so sorry I did that, my lord.
Of
This is
course.
Lord Riley.
Lord Riley. Ah, what a wonderful guest to have here. Lord Riley, have you a song of your own that I might know, that I might sing for you? Something about your younger days, or some of the fine trappings you've acquired in your elder days. Oh well, my family has a song. The I don't know if you know it. The Riley ballad tells of my great grandmother's betrothal to the fine dragonborn bard, not bard. I forget how it goes. It's like, oh, I know the one. I know the one. Here, let me sing it for you. And he kind of gathers the crowd for this tune, and he begins playing and going over the love song between these two members of Riley's family. And you hear on the music the melody and lyrics that he's singing to everyone, as well as the melody and lyrics that he sings just for the Lord, for Mr. Riley. And in that, you hear a description of a chamber in the Lord's manor, how to get there, what buttons to unlock it, like whether the combination to unlock it and get rid of the seals that magically protect it, and then to travel the staircase down to apply the blood to the seal, which then opens the small alcoves that contain a coin with a small girl's soul, a chair leg with an old man's soul, and about 4 or 5 others. And you see the blood drain from Lord Riley's face as he kind of suspiciously looks at you. And as the song's going on, he says, Mr. Lord Magnus, what is going on? Why? This is not
Lord Riley. Now, this is the best part. You better listen very closely.
I am listening to this.
I would hate for the rest of the guests to hear about this.
They're not hearing this now?
Not unless I want them to. You understand me, Lord Riley?
I believe that I do, Lord Magnus.
We all have our secrets and we all have our leverage.
Yes, it seems we do.
Some are darker than others.
I'm not the wise man I thought I was, do you?
Oh, no, Lord Riley. I only entrap the wisest of men. You should be honored that my grift is aimed directly at you, and of course I had to enlist my good friend Adrian to do it.
I see.
Now, if you're half the man that you're standing here before me, I could have done this by myself. But unfortunately for you, there's far too much at stake to waste dallying around, trying to play the game, trying to schmooze you over dinner, over a bottle of wine, week in, week out, win the tournament in your family's name, all that sort of. I don't have time for that, Lord Riley.
What is it you want?
Well, you understand about having souls locked up like that. Rather disgusting little hobby of yours.
Yes, I understand that. That's why I wish for them not to hear this song.
Oh, well, as long as he's singing, you have nothing to worry about. You see, my Lord Desmond Riley, there's a particular soul I'm interested in. Soul of a wizard type, some sort.
I
Can't-
don't have any wizards. None of them are magic practitioners. I don't think I can help you.
Well, even if you don't have the soul I'm looking for, maybe you know how I can get my hands on it, since you seem to be such a collector.
Of course, of course. Whatever it is you need, just make sure the song remains a secret.
Well, as long as you're a good boy, Lord Desmond Ryland, no one will know your dirty secrets. Now, here's how it's going to happen. You're going to excuse yourself to my smoking room, and I flag Willem over. And I say, my good Lord, my good Batman Willem here is going to take you to the smoking room. You're going to calm your nerves over my water pipe. And when Adrian here is done thrilling our guests, we'll excuse ourselves and join you there. And then we're going to have some questions for you. You're going to answer them honestly. You might even have to get your hands dirty and help us out. You understand me?
He kind of looks around the room. You see just beads of sweat coming down. And he just gives you a nod and then looks to Willem.
Oh, good. Because you absolutely understand that I am in the good graces of the Lord and Lady of Tyrolin. And I'd hate for them to hear about your dirty soul collection you got going on under there.
I'm aware.
Be a good boy and run along with Willem now.
Willem takes him to the smoking room. And you see him just nervously kind of pacing behind Willem as he's looking around and heads that way. Adrian finishes out the song. Everyone applauds. A lovely melody, if a little boring, of the Riley family.
It's an old song, you know?
Yeah. Adrian kind of makes his way up to you and says, so, are we in business?
Well, I say we got them hook, line, and sinker. All we got to do is finish reeling them in.
Sounds like a plan. I'll make sure the staff waits on everyone. We just need access to that tome of his, the one he got from your old boss, and we will be on our way.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm about to head. I got him in the smoking room now. We can have a private conversation. You're welcome to accompany me if you like. Perhaps you're terrifying magic
things to take care of. I've got to go woo the Lady of Turlin as I do, and then go flatter Mr. Gerald as well. Let me know when you're ready.
All right. And so I make my way to the smoking room.
You head to the smoking room. Willem's there. He says, Mr. Magnus, he's all yours. Were you needing anything else?
That'll be all, Willem. Just make sure that nobody else wants to partake of our smoking room until I'm done.
Very good. I'll take care of our guests.
And so I go in there.
Yeah. And I say, you kind of go over what you need from him. It's this tome of elemental planes. Basically. Right. And you're able to procure it. He has a means on his person of accessing that library and is able to pull the very book that you need, able to pull that book for you. Okay. And you're able to get that. And he, once this is over, he excuses himself and makes a hasty retreat.
I do have one thing to say. I do have one thing to say
right ahead.
Before he leaves. And I say, now what's a distinguished gentleman like yourself needing with the soul of a little girl, my Lord Desmond Riley? Now, don't open your mouth now. Unless you want the Lord and Lady to know your dirty deeds, you're going to go ahead and find yourself how to get rid of that one. You understand me? And you know that I will know if you don't.
What do you want me to do with it? It's trapped in a coin. I tossed it in a well. I protect their souls.
From what? From peace? From rest? From creepy old men who like to collect other creeps?
You see him kind of twitching, and he just says, I know what I can do with it. I'll take it to the church. They can let her soul rest.
See that it's done, Lord Desmond, or I'll see that you will.
Lord Magnus, I hope to never return here. Goodbye.
Oh, don't be so brash. Get on home, boy.
And he heads on home. A few days later, you and Adrian are in the chateau, going over what you need to summon the portal that you're looking for. Using the book and Adrian's knowledge of some planar travel, you are able to open up a portal to this place that you know. It's only going to last a short time. As you when you enter, you'll basically you just with this magic, it doesn't keep it open very long, as doing so would let in what's in that plane to the world at large. What do you do to prepare to go there?
I don't know.
Like, is there anyone you want to bring along? Is there anything you want to make sure that you have? I know you're looking for Cantor, but was there anything else you were wanting to do while there?
Realistically, I told Cantor that I would try and bring him back, and I want to try and keep that promise. And that's kind of, it's one of the things that's weighed on Arthur for a long time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just want to do my best to bring him back, and if I fail, I guess I fail. But
yeah, I would say with that, then you go alone. You don't want to put anyone else's life in danger of staying there.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty miserable place.
yeah. Adrian imbues you with a bit more power as you go in. Your connection with him has grown in the past few months, and he's able to let you gain more access to the magic that he uses. You bring your magic carpet with you to make traveling a bit easier, and you hop in to the portal, this swirling, dusty portal to the abyss. And as you get in, you are greeted with that same sight, this massive eye of a storm that, if this is the eye of the storm, it's unimaginable how big the actual storm is. The fine dust on the ground kind of gets kicked up as you float past it. And it takes you a bit of time to get a sense of where you are. There's not many landmarks, but in preparing this spell, a lot of it rested on your memory of this place. And so it doesn't take long for you to get dropped in and find the tower that sent you home. And there you find Cantor
Still studying
this thing. He's got a number of items that he's taken from his old tower and brought over here. There are small rocks that are set up. You're kind of viewing that from above, and he doesn't notice you yet. And he's got these rocks kind of resting, and you see it's like a big rock, a smaller rock, as they kind of come up, and like the top two rocks are floating a little bit up in the air towards this vortex that you took before to leave. And you see he's just kind of like manipulating them to like, and writing notes down. Yes. This is, that stone, if it moves, okay, yes. And then if we go there, then we'd have to enter in from this location. But this is only true if the winds from the outside of the tower are. He kind of looks around, hearing Arthur laugh a little bit.
Cantor, I told you I ought to just pick up a handful of dust and throw it on in there already.
Oh my goodness! It is you! You made it!
I told you I'd be back.
No, you didn't. You're back here. Does it?
By choice.
Damn it! I knew it. And he kind of tears the sheet in half that he's working on. It doesn't send you out of this plane. It sends you back to this plane. It is a prison inside.
Cantor, throw the notes down for one moment. I've been gone for months. It's time to pack your bags. I told you I'd bring you home. It's time to go.
Is it safe?
We can't. It is absolutely safe, Cantor. Look at me. I'm fine.
You do, and he kind of pokes at you. Yeah, you do seem real. Okay, well, this thing is going to be upset with us if we both leave, but that's okay. Uh,
Well, better be mad at the both of us than just, keeping your
is
ass stuck here for the whole time.
Eben still a problem?
Eben is now a puff of smoke. He's gone.
Well, then yes, I think perhaps this should be a grand adventure out of here. If he's not there to send me back, then I should be just fine. Okay, starts gathering things up and putting things in this massive bag, and it's a lot of just garbage. It's just
Cantor.
bits of fiber and scavenged wood. Yes, and I'll need this a table
Cantor,
leg.
I have
Perfect.
You look.
Right.
Time is of the essence. All right. Now they got trash back home. So you can leave trash here and you can collect new trash at home.
Oh, sure. That makes sense. It's been a long time. Right. Well then, on our way. And he loads up his bag onto the carpet, and you fly back to the destination where you kind of came in, and you and Cantor jump through the portal and end
Boom.
up in the chateau.
Boom.
Adrian closes it, introduces himself to Cantor. He says, "Oh, well, this is the friend of Mr. Magnus that needed rescuing. I'm glad you're back on solid ground, my good sir. Perfect. Will we be keeping this book or returning it to Mr. Riley? I think it should be a fine addition to the library.
Yeah.
Strix, if you will." And he hands it to Strix, and Strix happily puts it into the library.
I didn't make sure that man would never come to my house again just to give him back his book.
Yeah. And so you have rescued Cantor from a place in the abyss, a place of odd power, something that was tied to both you and him and your old connection to magic. But you've both since gotten rid of those shackles.
Excellent. Oh,
I think for a while, Cantor stays with you, researches in the library, gets reacquainted with everything, and just generally gets resettled into life, not in a dusty storm.
Yeah. Sorry we couldn't rescue your bag creep guy.
Oh, I think they are natives to that place.
Oh.
That is where they like to live. As far as I know, they're odd, creepy things.
One of them was nice to me.
Oh, well, they are nice, but you can be creepy and nice. I mean, look at me. I don't know much of this world any longer, and I don't wish ill on anyone. I hope them the best, I think.
Cantor, there are a few things in this world worth knowing for much longer than you need to. I think you'll find that the world as it is now, a much better place than the world you left behind, and I think you're going to fit in quite nicely, a keen analytical mind like yourself.
Well, good. I don't imagine magic has changed much over the years. I just have to reacquaint myself. If there's anything I can do for you, I'm eternally indebted to your services. Please, if I could be of service, I am at your call.
I appreciate that, Cantor. I'll hang on to that favor for a rainy day.
Good. Well, back to my research then. And you spend a bit of time, kind of sitting with this and, feeling accomplished in this thing that was weighing on you. Something else weighs on you a bit, and it leads you to get in touch with an old friend. The one that kind of caused the situation that you're in now, being this abyssal genasi with their power taken away. You get a message to Chimala. And the crew that he had, the Kenku that kind of followed with him, Chamali and Strummer and Gray end up at the chateau to go over what had happened. You had gotten a letter a long time ago that Eben had been dealt with, but you'd never heard it from Strummer himself. And as Chamali and Strummer are there, they discuss with you what happened, that they tracked down Eben's tent, his traveling tent, the prime location of it, not the illusion that he would project out to the world to travel Haven. And knowing that this place is now vacant, that it's sitting there with no owner anymore, sparks something in you. And you decide to embark away from the chateau, away from the business of Usama and the politics going on. You have people to take care of that. Willem is very happy to. He's found that a life on the road is not for him. He likes to stay in one place and to be good at doing something. And he has found that here in running the affairs of the Lord of you. And so you bring with you Strummer, Cantor, and Adrian, who is just very interested in this grand adventure, to go to the tent in the valley, the traveling tent of Eben. How do you get there?
Well, I have a flying carpet.
Sure. It's a continent away. It's if you want a flying carpet, it absolutely can do. You stop ever so often, all the little towns that no one visits. You stop on tropical islands, enjoy some fruit, befriend some monkeys. Adrian enjoys, all the little interactions he has with the people, and on these islands he stretches his wings as he is in his dragon form, his true form, dives into the water and interacts with some of the sea life. He fights a herd of sharks.
Yes.
And just enjoys the time. Cantor just viewing all of this changing landscape, like every day is something new, and he is blown away by it. His spirit's invigorated by the trip. We travel through the odd primal forests inside of the Orgolan expanse.
Yes.
As you finally head south after weeks of this to the valley that Strummer's taken you to. And as you fly through the canyon, fighting a number of wind elementals along the way, that is easy enough for this team of a high powered sorcerer, a dragon, a wizard who has found new power, and a deadly ranger.
And we're just like all up on top of this freaking flying carpet.
yeah
just like a flying platform of death on these poor things.
I mean, I would say that you're on the carpet. You've got Adrian's a dragon. He's going to fly. Sure. And Cantor kind of regaining some of his abilities. He flies as well. He's able to cast fly, and he does launching some magic missiles and going at this. Strummer stays with you on the carpet, as he's not a good flyer, but if he's got a platform to shoot from, he's gonna murk some people.
Hell yeah.
Some wind elementals. But you arrive at the tent. It is dusty and dirty. Its flags are blowing in every direction. What do you do?
This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, first thing, I take it in. I feel like, I'd kind of want to go inside if it's not going to kill me, if it's not like booby trapped to high hell.
Strummer assures you that they made sure none of that was still around. They took care of the odd artifacts that were in there and made sure that that Jamala and the people of Galandior took care of them. There was a mirror in there that could trap souls, and a scrying orb that could see, that was broken and could only see one place. So yeah, they made sure that all of that was taken care of. As you enter in, you see a simple kind of dining area with colorful curtains around the edges, dusty, sandy, in need of a change.
I spent so much of my life with the specter of Eben hanging over me. It's kind of bizarre. I'd never really thought too much about him being gone until just now. I mean, his poor home in complete disarray. Say, Cantor or Adrian, I mean, what was the magic that made this place tick? It made this place show up around the world. I mean,
well, let's take a look. And Cantor begins kind of investigating what this place is. And it takes him a while, you know.
we got time.
yeah, exactly. Adrian is a little more focused on kind of summoning some things to make it look a little nicer. He's got magic available to him to spruce the place up. But Cantor comes back to you kind of at the end of the day and says, I think I've got the inner workings of this thing. This here is the tent here is what is transposed out into the world. It in reality is there, but this is the copy that is sent. There is a number of magical seals, crystals, and runes inscribed on the mesa that this sets on. We can change them as we want, and if you'd like, we can have this go anywhere. If you built a different structure on the top of the mesa, that is what would change or be transposed. You tell me what you want, and I'll make sure it gets done.
Well, Adrian, it'd be kind of fun to have like a kind of a traveling circus type thing, right? I mean,
it would be fantastic. A place to call home, but that home is wherever you want it to be. Eben was a stick in the mud, but I mean, he knew how to live.
I wonder if we show up around in Eben's tents, if that's going to ruffle some feathers in the wrong way. I kind of feel like maybe we just clean it up and it'd be fine. But if he wrongs somebody out there, and God knows,
I'm sure he's wronged a fair few people out there. No, you're right. Let's change it. Cantor, you said we can change this to whatever we want. Then this will be sent out. Well, what do we want? A building? An arena? No, I don't want to fight anything. Unless it's a fighting pit, and then we have seats up top in a tavern? Possibly? A theater?
Ooh.
A theater with an inn attached to it.
Yeah, theater could be rather fun. Or we're traveling. In my mind, you said theater, and my mind instantly went to like Interview with a Vampire, dude, where like, you know, they go to the theater in Paris, and I couldn't think of the word fast enough. But anyway, I can't think of the word now either. But I'm just imagining this like theater where we put on like strange and whimsical shows with lots of masks and, you know, lots of veiled meaning, and the lords come to the shows and like, oh, of course I understood everything that happened there, but like we have like magic shit going on in the background too, and we got like shady business dealings downstairs, and like
absolutely, yeah. You set this up. You describe the designs. Adrian and Cantor are able to you know, over the weeks turn this place into this theater, this roaming theater around Haven, where Arthur can do what he wants. He can write the stories he wants. He can embarrass the people he wants to embarrass and impress the people he wants to impress, wherever that might be. You keep a home at the chateau. You have Cantor give you a nice little cupboard entrance that takes you from there to the theater.
Yes.
And you have full reign over this traveling theater and the chateau itself. And I think that is where we will leave Arthur's story as he regales the world with his own stories with the help of a bard that's a dragon, an old wizard, and a whole host of other characters that he meets along the way.
And I can look like anything I want to with my abilities. So,
oh yeah,
we're
that power grows as you grow with Adrian. Yeah, exactly. You create, this back theater that any actor can come back to, and in a moment their costume changes. You imbue the place itself with magic to do this.
Yes.
And it becomes known, throughout Haven, this traveling theater that pops up ever so often.
Yeah, and one of our biggest plays is one about just how manly and masculine Lord Gerald is from Tyrlin.
Oh,
Gerald?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tyrlin, yeah. That's the headlining show. And I think part of the magic of the theater is similar to the way Adrian sang the song before, is the lyrics and the words spoken are heard differently by the people on the ground floor and the people up in the balconies. Yeah, and that's where we're going to leave Arthur's story as the theater travels around Haven. Thank you guys for joining us around a proverbial podcast table. Grab your swords, keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.